When you like Ventura TV Appliance on Facebook, it's nice. But when you love the Samsung big screen we deliver, it's even better. Our website is cool, and it's a good place to start. But you really should touch the merchandise before you buy. Time for that upgrade to an HD 3D web-enabled Samsung TV. Get the best selection, price, and service in town without waiting. Come in to Ventura TV Appliance and touch the merchandise today.
Hi, I'm John Mallison. Welcome to this live edition of Connect with me on the showroom floor at Ventura TV on this Tuesday morning. Today we're going to be talking, well, the focus will be on business, I know that, but we'll be talking about the pawn shop business. That's right, the pawn shop business. You heard correctly. 436 MeTV option 11. You want to join the program. And by the way, a reminder, turn down the sound on your TV set if you decide that you want to call in. Back in just a moment. And welcome back to the program here. The focus today, of course, is on business, and no doubt about it. And thanks again yesterday, by the way, to Dennis Hart, our on the air off, on the air off the presses. That's right. Our media guy that came in yesterday talked about all sorts of things, including being an ombudsman at one time. What a great show we had yesterday, and a lot of fun. Well, today we want to talk about the pawn shop business. Hey, if you need a loan, do you need a loan? And I mean fast. You need one fast. Well, a lot of people think of pawn shops, but there are other people, when they think of a pawn shop, they think it's a rather shady place to do business. You know what I mean? Well, we're going to try to clarify some of that. But if you think about a pawn shop in this fashion, it's kind of like a garage sale or many garage sales put together along with a flea market. Let's go to the videotape and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. You're looking at Sweet's Pawn Shop. This taking place in Tulare. People borrow money by leaving something as collateral. That's one way you can do business with a pawn shop. Another way is, well, people sell used merchandise. You can come in and sell whatever you have, right? Now, another way you can do business is people buy used and new merchandise. Now, at Sweets, there are all sorts of items. You can buy jewelry, neon lights, tools, electronics, and of course, tons and tons and tons of sports memorabilia, as you see here. Now, the Sweet family name, keep in mind, has been in Tulare since 1923, but the pawn shop has been there since 2008, about the last 5 years or so. All sorts of items, as you can see. Hey, is that Aaron Rodgers jersey I see there? Jerry Rice, number 80 of the 49ers. You've got 5,000 square feet of space, so you can just imagine how much merchandise there is in this place. Live in our studio right now is Louis Sweet. He is the owner of the shop and former national drag racing champion, my friends. And sitting next to him is Dwayne Thompson. He is the store manager. We're glad to have both of them in the studio today. We're going to try to clarify some of these, I think, thoughts that maybe people have when they think of a pawn shop. You know, sometimes negative thoughts go through your mind, but we're here to focus on business and talk about some of the positive. And he can tell us, also, both of these gentlemen can tell us what to beware of if you walk into a pawn shop, right? 436 MeTV option 11 is the telephone number, and make sure, please, ladies and gentlemen, do not leave the sound up on your TV. Turn it down if you decide to call in. 436 MeTV option 11. Back with our two guests in just a moment.
Remember me?
After practicing law, Raymond Berg fought crime.
You have the right to an attorney.
As a hard-boiled detective on wheels.
Ain't it the truth?
His name is Ironside.
Perhaps you wouldn't mind saying it again.
His name is Ironside.
All right, now you've said it.
Nothing slows him down.
I want to see this one firsthand.
Now on MeTV Fresno, Xfinity 187.
Now, what are we waiting for?
We're back on this Tuesday morning talking about pawn shops, and The one specifically that we're going to be talking about is Sweet's Pawn Shop in Tulare. Hey, glad to have along Louis Sweet.
Thank you, John.
And Dwayne, good to see you. You're the manager there. Careful with that mic.
Yeah.
So how are you? Did I kind of characterize it pretty much in the opening?
Absolutely, yeah. A pawn shop, we have kind of redone the traditional pawn shop, the gates, the bars and everything that. We've made it an open forum where it's a nice shopping experience.
Oh, really? Okay. So tell us about some of the misconceptions about the pawn shop as I kind of described, in the monologue. When people think of a pawn shop, they think, oh my goodness, there seems to be something shady going on here.
Yeah.
Not the case, right?
Not the case at all, especially not in Tulare. The cases, the bars, the windows, dealing between the glass. We're one-on-one with the customer. We're out with the customer on the floor. Dwayne is the manager, and we deal with the people, on a one-on-one basis on each piece of equipment that we deal with.
We've got a call coming in. Good morning. You're on Connect with Me. Your question. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, my question is, I'd like to ask the gentleman if he's had any recent autographed Dan Marino jerseys come through there, because I had one stolen from me, and I'm just wondering if he's seen it.
Good question. Actually,
Yeah.
we do see some things. Everybody that comes to the pawn shop is fingerprinted, and we do take an ID. They have to have a current ID and a fingerprint. So everything that's like that, the police report should be made, and then we can track it backwards like that. I haven't seen any per se, but not to say that there are not items that do come in.
Okay, okay, thank you for your call. I appreciate it. Thank you much. Okay, let's back up here. Let's backtrack.
Yeah.
So everybody that comes into the shop, if I come into the shop, you're going to fingerprint me?
Fingerprinted, and you have to have a current ID.
Okay. Even if I just want to wander through the store.
No idea. If you're going to purchase something or pawn something.
So if I buy something, I have to give you my fingerprints.
Fingerprint.
By law?
By law. That's a state law, California state law. So
What's the reason for that?
It is something. It's a security reason. So basically, we've got a twofold security specific. So as far as he was pertaining to his jersey, whatnot. So if the jersey was taken from him, somebody brings this jersey and we fingerprint that gentleman, get his ID and whatnot. So if it is purchased by you, we know where that jersey went as well.
Do you think, though, that by fingerprinting, this gives people some of the wrong impressions about a pawn shop? Because when you walk into Target or Walmart,
Right.
They don't fingerprint you.
Well, and it's something, I think it's a
You know what I
security-
mean, Dwayne?
Yeah, I understand that completely.
Yeah, it is something. I think it's security reason. I understand what you're saying as far as a wrong impression, but it's not inclusive where it makes it where what am I trying to say? It gives a wrong impression in my thought.
But some people don't feel comfortable in that. Do you understand that, Dwayne?
Yeah, I understand people wouldn't feel comfortable, but the reason why the reason why we do it is just to, ensure that, we're not taking anything stolen and ensuring our safety and the consumer safety, so they're not getting anything stolen either.
Right. You ever dealt with any stolen products?
It does.
Yes,
Go ahead.
we've dealt with a couple stolen products, but with what we do, when we buy something, we get their ID, we swipe them through our system, and it goes on a 30-day hold. The item does, and then so when the police come in, we get the item, and they ask for the item, and if we have it,
How do you know if something's stolen?
We don't.
How do you
And
find
That's
out?
why there's a 30-day hold. So basically, you bring in an item, it's on a 30-day hold. So when the paperwork goes to the police
Well, what if I
department,
come in and purchase something and I find out it's stolen?
the process has already been done. If we've already had it on a 30-day hold to where the police department has had an opportunity to look at that. If any police reports do match up with the item that's
Right.
been stolen, it's already gone through that
All right,
process.
how do I know? Like this gentleman just called in. He wanted a Dan Marino autographed jersey. How do I really know that Dan Marino signed that jersey? I mean, how do you know? How does anybody know?
Well, we have authentication, and I do demand authentication of every piece we buy of signed.
How do you
memorabilia.
do that? How does that process
I've
work?
got a company from LA that comes down about once a month.
Oh,
And then
okay.
they do come down there, and he's a professional. And about 30% of the items that I do take in are faked. Are faked.
30%?
Yeah, probably so. There's a lot out there.
So what do you do with the items then when you
and
find
it's one of those things I just
toss it, huh?
Toss it, because I refuse to sell something that's not an authentic
I'm curious how you authenticate something when it's such a big star that way, with Dan Marino or Joe Montana or anybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you do that? How do they do that?
There's a company that does that. They come from LA, and he will come down and he will analyze the inscription, as you see like on the Pawn Stars on the TV show. They have an expert come in. We do the same type of scenario. He'll come in, look at that. He'll go back, do his research, look through there, and then authenticate it. Either it's authentic and it is true, or it's not.
All right. I don't want you guys to turn around because it'll kind of mess things up here. So we're going to roll the videotape of the jewelry and gold that we have behind us here in the monitor, and then we're going to take it full screen. How much gold do you have? How much in terms of jewelry do you carry in the store?
We carry nearly $500,000 in jewelry, just in jewelry. Just in jewelry.
That includes what? Watches?
That just includes diamonds, earrings.
Diamonds, earrings. Okay.
Yeah, watches, all that, turquoise, anything along those lines.
Dwayne, what's the hot item in jewelry?
The hot item I'd say in jewelry is it's just mainly our rings, or our wedding bands and stuff like that. It's pretty much our hottest item that we see a lot of people coming in asking for or wanting to buy.
Right.
You'll say, and the reason being is you'll save probably, it'll be a third of the cost of the same ring in a jewelry store. I'm not trying to pick on the jewelry stores; they do a nice job, but basically it would be.
Why is it cheaper in your store?
We sell on a wholesale basis, so we're wholesaling to the public. So
Okay.
so basically it's amazing, and if you saw the numbers of what a diamond actually wholesales for is what it retails for, it's a big difference.
Before we go to break, what would be the advantage for me, the consumer, to come into your place and buy something as opposed to going to, in Fresno here we have like J&R Sports or the mall or Target or Walmart to buy some of these same items that maybe we can get in your store? What would be give us the advantage of coming into your place?
I think the diversity of the items that we do have. I mean, we've got everything from saddles to pool cues. I mean, it's amazing. The guitars, and it's also the savings. It's one of the things that we buy at a large discount, and we don't mark it up as high as.
Want to pick up on that real quick before we go to break?
The savings.
Not really.
The savings is a big. You do save a lot coming through our pawn shop. If we could buy it for a reasonable price, we want to sell it for a reasonable price.
Okay, great. All right, we're talking to Lewis Sweet, Dwayne Thompson of Sweet's Pawn Shop in Tulare on this Focus on Business Tuesday here on the showroom floor at Ventura TV. 436 MeTV, option 11, if you want to call in. And don't forget, turn down the sound on your TV set. Back in just a moment.
When you're looking for KitchenAid innovation and quality, who has the answers, the selection, the price? Ventura TV Appliance. With billions in nationwide appliance buying power, more than Home Depot and Best Buy combined, we'll help you save. Our low prices on Energy Star qualified KitchenAid appliances save you energy and money, and pay no interest on select models when paid in full within 12 months. Ventura TV Appliance, serving you since 1951.
Back here on our show today, the focus is on business and the pawn shop business. Let's put up the disclaimer real quick and tell people what this is all about. We're talking to Lewis Sweet, Dwayne Thompson. They, of course, Lewis is the owner of Sweet's Pawn Shop in Tulare. Now, they came here of their own free will, and we had them on here of our own free will. They didn't pay us, we didn't pay them. The focus is a positive one here because we try to promote business as much as we can here in the Central Valley. Ventura TV's been around since, 1951, and so we try to help and promote as much local business as we possibly can because we, ladies and gentlemen, have been very fortunate here the last 60 years because of you, the consumer, have made us very successful, so we appreciate them coming in. All right, back to the pawn shop business, and that is the task at hand here to talk about all the various aspects of being an owner of a pawn shop. What are some of the things that you have to watch for and be careful of?
It's amazing because we deal...
Besides fraudulent type material,
Yeah.
or not material, but items.
We see coins. We see coins that are fake. We see bills that have been faked. We see autographs that have been faked. So there are a lot of the people that do try to bring in things to the pawn shop that aren't real. As far as diamonds, we see lots of fake diamonds.
All
So
right.
we've got testers to test for that type of item.
Okay, roll the videotape one more time behind us in the monitor here. We're looking at artifacts, Western gear. You said you sell saddles and all kinds of other artifacts. We're looking at some here up on the monitor. What are we looking at here?
You're looking at some American Indian art artifacts. We've got some Western art, arrowheads. We've got some bronzes, Remington bronzes. We've got belt buckles from the Heston, from the World Series of rodeo. Just a lot of different things. It's a total, mishmash of everything you can possibly think of.
Right. Good morning. You're on Connect with me. Your question, please.
My question is, I was looking at some of that video you're showing. It looks like you have fine art there as well, or serigraphs. I couldn't tell exactly what it was. Is it something that you get? Is it commonplace for that to pass over your counter? Like oil paintings, etc. That's my question.
Yes, I do see oil paintings. I do take numbered artists, and I do take this is by Hanley, and he is a famous artist that has passed away, and that's about a $10,000 painting.
Wow. What is it? So is that what you sell it for? About 10 grand?
I'm selling for about $7,000.
About
discount.
7. Okay. About 7.
But I do take original art, absolutely.
All right, you have all kinds of music equipment as well. Let's roll the videotape and talk about that and show some of that as well. Behind us in the monitor, what kind of instruments do you sell?
Dwayne is the one that handles the instruments and the tools. Would not do as far as guitars.
Guitars. We got a drum set in right now. We get from bongos to guitars to drum sets. Just depending, ukuleles. We get it all.
What's the hot item in the music industry?
The drum sets.
The drum sets.
They go.
What, people are
quick.
coming in and buying them for their teenagers or what?
Yeah, as crazy as it sounds, they do.
All right, another call coming in. Good morning, you're on Connect with me. Your question, please.
Yeah, good morning, John, and to your guests. If you should carry a digital camera or any electronic products, do you have a warranty on those products? For how long? Or
we are one of the very few pawn shops that have a return policy. If you
do?
Yes,
Really?
Yes, we do. And
How long? 2 months, 3
We'll
months?
give you a week.
A week?
We'll give you a
Okay.
week. If
All right.
you take it home and in a week you don't like it, then we will absolutely return your money to you.
All right. Any other questions?
great? No, good. Thank you. Thank you.
So why do most pawn shops not have a return policy?
Electronics are tough. It's usually cash and carry, but it's one of those situations that we've been doing business since 1923 as a family in Tulare, and it's one of those things that we've got a good rapport with the population, and we want to stay that way.
All right, let me read this to you, and I'll see if you agree with me. A pawnbroker is, and I'm describing a pawnbroker, is an individual or a business that offers secured loans to people with items or personal property. And they are used as personal collateral. Is that a correct way of describing it?
Absolutely. A pawn shop was basically the first banking industry. It was collateral loans were the first.
So if I come in with a rare baseball card that's worth, I don't know, $500, and I need a loan, what are you going to give me on that loan?
Typically around $250, typically about half, because it's a 4-month loan. We'll loan you for 4 months.
Okay. Call here on Connect with Me. Good morning. You are on the air. What's your question?
Yeah, I've gone to try to take a gold to exchange, I guess. And I went to a place, I don't want to say where I live, but when I went there, they gave me a price, and I go, that's too low. And then they told me, if you want a higher price, you got to give us your ID, which I had, but I left that place because I didn't trust the way they do things.
You're smart, because it's by law you have to have your ID for any transaction.
Really?
Yes, absolutely.
So is that pawn shop in violation?
In violation. So, and we see this a lot. We see a lot of shops that are trying to buy gold right now. So be very careful out there seeing these gold buy shops on the corners.
Can that place be shut down by state law?
Absolutely.
It can be. Okay.
Absolutely.
Let me roll one more piece of videotape before we go to break. It's about sports memorabilia. This, my friends, I have to tell you, is a multi-billion-dollar business across the country, across the world. There's no question about it. And I know this for a fact because I looked it up on the internet. The Buster Posey, he's the catcher for the San Francisco Giants. His jersey, his authentic jersey, is the #1 selling jersey, not only across the country, across the world.
Yeah. It is amazing, and because in California they, for lack of a better way, busted a group out of New York that was selling millions of dollars of Babe Ruth memorabilia.
Fake
memorabilia.
Yeah, I remember the story.
Absolutely, and they had hired a guy that was a forensic, could sign anybody's signature, and had millions and millions of dollars in.
So do you have to have a forensic expert examine these items to make sure that Babe Ruth signed that baseball, that Willie Mays actually wore that jersey?
I'm not going to say everybody does it. We do it because I feel comfortable.
But how many of these forensic experts are there around the country that do this?
Not many. And
when you say not many, is it a handful?
I would say that probably of credible ones, there's probably a dozen in the United States of credible ones. Now there's hundreds that do it online, and you're going to see lots of different pieces of paper online saying this has been authenticated. No good. There's about 5 or 6 that aren't named. And if you want to give us a call, I'll be happy to explain which ones those are.
We've got to go to break, but quickly before we do, tell us what our viewers need to look for if they're looking for a pawn shop so they don't get ripped off. What's the #1 thing you look for in a pawn shop when you walk in to make sure that they're authentic?
You're authentic. Basically, talk to the people behind the counter and ask lots of questions. Because it's one of those things.
What should you ask? What's the main thing?
Basically, ask who's doing the authentication. Where did this come from? How long has this been here? And how many of these do you have? If they've got 5 Buster Posies in the back, I mean, you could be looking at a problem.
Yeah, you're looking at fakes, maybe. Who knows?
Yes.
Yeah, in other words, that's a warning sign. That's
Absolutely.
a red flag.
There
is
could
what
be a
that
lot of
is.
red flags. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'd
Okay.
also say make sure the family-owned. I think family-owned business. Make sure the people there, the workers there are greeting you, being polite, and always making you feel like you want to be there, or you want to shop there.
Right. Okay. Louis Sweet is our guest, along with Dwayne Thompson of Sweet's Pawn Shop down in Tulare. We're glad they're here today to answer some of your questions and some of my questions to try to, dispel some of the myths of the pawn shop industry. We're back with your phone calls, 436-MeTV, option 11. Back in just a moment.
Now, why don't you tell us the whole story right from the beginning? All right, from the beginning. This is the city, Los Angeles, California. My name's Friday. I carry a badge. Police officers.
You any idea who the other man was?
My partner's Bill Gannon.
Program?
We got just one big question.
Yeah.
When?
Now on MeTV Fresno, Xfinity 187.
Frigidaire. We introduced the first home freezer, the first pulsator agitator washer, and now we introduce the Frigidaire Orbit Clean dishwasher, designed with a unique wash arm that gives you 4 times more water coverage for a consistently better clean. Frigidaire, over 90 years of legendary innovation.
See the full line of Frigidaire appliances at Ventura TV Electronics and Appliances.
Don't you ever hit me again!
Chief, I think we got a hit on our MeTV Fresno, now on Comcast Channel 187.
Back here on the showroom floor at Ventura TV, I hold in my hot little hands here a boxing glove signed by the one and only Mike Tyson, the former heavyweight boxing champion of the world. Back many years ago, of course, he won the title, and Mike is still sometimes in the headlines. He signed this glove. How do I know he signed it?
That has been authenticated. I have a piece of paper that has been authenticated, and it costs me $50 each time he authenticates it. So it's not just a freebie that comes in. So I'm investing when I take a chance on buying a piece of equipment or a piece of memorabilia that I've got to invest in.
He didn't use this glove in a match. He simply signed it.
Signed that glove, yes,
okay,
sir.
Good. Good deal. I'm going to put this down here. Is that all right?
Absolutely.
The Mike Tyson glove. All right. What else have you brought here? Let's show that picture. Show that picture.
Got a picture of Betty Davis.
Careful.
And it's
Careful.
been also been authenticated. You can see by the
we
small.
got to put this up here.
By
there we go.
by the small little identification there. If you were to call in that number on that identification there, they will tell you that that is a Betty Davis signed picture.
Let me hold that up here. All right, that's
And I've
Betty
got
Davis, of course.
Lots
there
of
we go.
lots of
right
old
there.
film memorabilia.
Sorry about the glare, but and this was authenticated when?
2 months ago. As a matter of fact, I had it 2
When
months
did
ago.
she sign this?
Who knows?
Who knows?
I have
no
no
year,
idea.
huh?
No, I have no year. It was signed many years ago in Hollywood. There was a talent scout that had quite a few of the pictures, and I picked out a number of them.
Great.
Yeah.
And for all the people out there who don't know who Betty Davis was, one of the biggest Hollywood stars in history. Okay?
Absolutely.
All right. Never heard of her? Now you have.
Now you have.
What else you got, guys?
Got some coins here, and you see these are called Morgan head coins, and they all look the same. Everything's the same. Take a small magnet, going through. You're going to see that the ones that picked up are not real coins.
Is that right? Let's take this call real quick. Hang on to that thought.
Yep.
Good morning. You're on Connect with Me. Your question quickly.
Yes, to your guest, what items would you give more a little more money on? Is it jewelry or other items?
Jewelry is typically the number one that would get your highest return. But again, sports memorabilia, I paid $1,500. I paid $2,000 for different pieces. I paid actually $3,500 for a John Wayne signed picture. So I mean, the numbers can vary. It just depends on the rarity and you know what it is and who it is and you know.
Do you have something you want to sell?
How much would you loan on boxing gloves signed by Golden Boy?
Golden Boy, that would be that. What would the name? His name?
What's the name?
I forget his name. He must be very stingy.
It could have been anywhere from $30 to maybe $200, depending on the signature and on the authentication. And if it does already have authentication, if not, it's going to cost me $50 off then.
By the way, the Mike Tyson glove is worth what?
$250.
And the Betty Davis picture?
It's worth $175.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. Good deal.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for the call. Okay, I just want to point out to our viewers. Hang on there, guys. Let me hold this up. Okay, we have 2, 4, 6 coins here, right here. Okay, let me have your magnet.
Absolutely.
All right. The ones that are picked up by the magnet are fake coins.
Are fake coins.
Okay. There's 2 fake coins right
Fake
there.
coins, yeah.
Now, what about the others? Oh, there's 3,
Yeah,
4.
4.
What about
See,
that one? Oh,
those 2 are real.
4 fake coins
And they
and
all-
two authentic ones.
And they all look identical.
Okay. All right.
So a magnet is something good to take maybe to a
So these are real?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Oh, no. I'm
Maybe
just
take to a flea mart or to a yard sale. A magnet's a very good thing to have. It'll also for jewelry as far as rings.
What are these coins here? These are the real ones, right? Okay. And these are what year? Let's see. It says 1883.
83.
Wow. What's that worth? 1883 and 1884.
Silver right now is about $21.83 an ounce. These are a little bit less than an ounce, so about $20 a piece.
Okay. We got about 2 minutes left. Let's put this over here. Put that right there, and we have a bunch of $2 bills here. We got what? Well, we got a 5 and a 10. Okay, that's money right there. Okay, how do you know what's real and what isn't?
This is the real money. This is the red seal 2, so that's older money there, and you can see and it's worth quite a bit more. Here's a red seal 5, which typically now all money is green seal, and here's a gold seal 10, which is worth quite a bit of money.
Okay, but how can you tell if it's a fake? These are real?
Those are real dollars.
Okay,
Absolutely.
how can you tell if it's a fake?
It's hard. There's a few little innuendos, the things of things that you have to look for.
What year is
in
that,
those.
by the way? I can't
That
even
is
read
1928.
that. Okay, that's a 1928 $2 bill right there, 1928, circa 1928.
And this is a gold escudo. Here is what this is. This is a sea salvaged gold escudo, and it's from Spanish galleon.
Okay,
and
hold that up.
Yeah, and that's worth about $2,100.
Wow. Wow.
And there was only so
amazing.
many found, and when the rest are found, I mean that's all there is.
Yeah.
But it is neat. So it's
What
amazing.
year? What year was it?
1711.
Wow.
Was
So this
here.
is worth $2,150. That's what you're selling it
That's
for?
what's up for you. I mean, but at a pawn shop, always remember the price that's on there. It's always negotiable. So there's always room to move. So
Right.
don't just take it at face value.
Right. And you got one more coin here. What is that?
This is a Indian head nickel, And the only really the Indian head nickels are the three-legged Indian head nickels.
Oh yeah, I see that.
On the back, if you have one leg on the front, two legs on the back, they can be worth $500 to $700.
What's that one worth?
50 cents.
50 cents. All right. Louis, sweet, we got to go. We're going to get cut off. Thank you so much. Come back again. Dwayne, good to see you. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Louis Sweet and Dwayne Thompson. They are from Sweet's Pawn Shop down in Tulare. We thank them for being here. That's going to do it for us today here on Connect with Me. We're back with more of our show tomorrow on MeTV Fresno.